what's going on, guys? Nick from Kizaru Gaming here. Today I'm going to be commentating over a match between me and a very good friend of mine, Zach. We're actually both on the same team. In the video, he's wearing one of our other team hoodies while I'm wearing a different one. He's playing Altergeist. I'm going to be playing Drytron today. This is a match from our locals. I ended up getting second place at this locals, only losing in the finals to the Mirror Drytron. I will be posting that video later on. This is Zach's first time playing Altergeist. If there are any mistakes made between either me or Zach, please comment down below. We definitely want to know. But let's get right into it. I'm going to start off with activation of Fafnir, the field spell. And I give him a little quick rundown. He doesn't know everything about Drytrons and like what everything does exactly. I give him a quick rundown about what Fafnir does. Fafnir is actually insane. It has like 4 effects. It's basically Magical Meltdown. It prevents you from stopping the ritual summons, which a lot of people forget about. It also has a level modulation effect when monsters are normal or special summoned. It hasn't come up often. It actually only came up one game against PK on Dueling Book, but it hasn't come up for me at least often, but I'm sure it does come up in the future. So I'm just going to give him a little explanation. I'm going to search Nova off of it. And then I'm going to activate Drytron Nova. And then I'm going to have to summon a monster from deck. I get to summon any one of my Drytrons. I believe I pick Alpha Thuban. Yeah, I pick Alpha Thuban. Just wanted to make sure. So summon Alpha Thuban from deck. And then I'm going to activate Preparation of Rites. A lot of people forget Preparation also adds a ritual spell from Grave. So you have the opportunity to go spell it. A lot of people forget that, but you could always go spell Prep even if there isn't a ritual spell in Grave because it includes that effect. So off the Prep, I'm going to search Ben 10. I'm going to activate Zeta's effect. I will tribute the... Oh, no, I won't. I will actually link into Link Karibo. And then I will activate the Alpha Thuban Engrave, tributing Ben 10 from my hand. This will get me another Ben 10, and then off the Ben 10 that was tributed, I'm going to be searching a Eva. I already have Herald of the Orange Light in hand, and I wanted to make sure I'm protected from interruptions like Nibiru, Skullmeister, stuff like that. Next, I'm going to Zeta. I'm going to tribute another Ben 10. Zeta is going to search me Meteonis Drytron, which is the ritual spell. And then Ben 10 will also search. I'm going to search another Ben 10. I'm going to search at least 2 more times off of Ben 10 with this combo. So I'm going to link the Zeta and the Alpha into a Union Carrier. I will activate Union Carrier's effect. That's going to equip the Dawn Knight from my deck to my field. The new Drytron XZs is actually insane. This is recording as of mid-January 2021, and we just got announced the new Drytron XZs monster in Lightning Overdrive. I believe the set's coming out in May, and it is basically, it is insane, as if this deck didn't need support, because it doesn't, but we got such an amazing card for it. So I'm going to activate Meteonis. I'm going to tribute the Union Carrier, and I'm going to summon Ben 10 from my graveyard. And then Dawn Knight is going to activate when it's sent to the graveyard after being equipped for Union Carrier, and I'm going to send Zeta from deck to grave. Zeta, I've always said, is one of my absolute favorites. Because, you know, Delta, I'm talking about Delta. Delta is one of my absolute favorites because Zeta can only search the ritual spell. Alpha can only search the monster. Zeta can essentially hit any card in your deck because it's a free draw. Every single turn you get a free draw as long as you have a ritual or ritual spell in hand. It's amazing. We are practicing the proper precautions to make sure that we're trying not to touch each other's cards. I think I do accidentally, out of force of habit, cut his deck once. Can't remember exactly. It might have not been this game. But we're having each other tell how far we want to cut down on our decks. So it's like remote duels. Essentially, the remote duel rules, how we're doing it. So I'm going to summon Zeta. I'm going to reveal the Ben 10, and then I'm going to draw a card. I accidentally fumbled my cards here like twice, and I show him I have the Eva, but he already knows I have it. So I'm going to tribute the Delta, and I'm going to summon Gamma. Gamma's effect will summon another Drytron back from my graveyard. I'm going to summon the Delta back. I'm thinking here for a minute. I'm going to activate Meteonis and Grave. Meteonis will reduce Delta's attack points by 1,000, then add it back to my hand. It's always just free recursion with Meteonis. You can play one. I prefer to play 2, but that's besides the point. So I make a little goof up here. I forgot that Herald of Orange Light has to be both same type and attribute. So I summon Link Karibo. I summoned the Relinquished, thinking that it was similar to Union Carrier, where I could do that, but I couldn't. So that's a goof up on my part. It's definitely a big misplay. I could have ended on something way more optimal. But I'm going to activate Meteonis. I'm going to bring down Herald of Perfection. I'm sorry, Herald of Ultimateness, the better one. And then I'm going to set one card and pass. Zach's going to draw for turn. And he's got a pretty scary board to face against. The Ultimateness is a really, really good card. I honestly prefer it over Vanities because, I mean, Vanities, there's so many outs to it. But Ultimateness, like, can you just start negate? It just hits everything, honestly. So he's going to normal summon Mullaseek, and then he's going to attack. When he activates the Send effect, I am going to negate it with Ultimateness. It is in damage step, so I can negate it since Ultimateness does negate activations. It does come up in one of my matches, negating activations during the damage step versus negating effects during the damage step, because you cannot negate effects during the damage step, you can only negate activations. Also, you can not level modulate, attack and defense modulate during the damage step. Those are really, I think, the only two things. I think there might be one other thing that you can do during damage step, but it's a very limited window. So when the Mullaseek is sent to the graveyard, he's going to search a Conquery off of that. So I assume that he already has Multi-Faker in hand. It's a pretty safe bet. Normally they would search the Multi-Faker off of the Mullaseek. So he's going to set 4, and then he's going to pass turn back to me. And then during the standby phase, he's going to activate a copy of Protocol. Protocol, being a fantastic card, prevents your monsters on field from being negated. I love when I play this deck, I would summon Multi-Faker, and then I would activate its effect, and they would ash it, and then I'd just get to resolve it for free because Protocol says it can't be negated. So he activates Multi-Faker in hand. I am going to negate that with Ultimateness. He thought that Protocol just prevents negations from anywhere. It's only from the field. So I can negate the Multi-Faker in hand with my Ultimateness. So I'm going to send Eva to graveyard for Ultimateness. Then I'm going to activate Eva's effect. I'm going to get rid of 2 fairies in my graveyard, and I'm going to search a Herald of Orange Light and a Cyber Petite Angel. I do not play the Green Light or Purple Light. I think Petite Angel is way, way better. It's one of your normal summons. One of your very limited normal summons. But, you know, you have options when you have Petite Angel. You can search any of your Ben 10s. You can search, my opinion, the best card in the deck, which is Natasha. That card is absolutely ridiculous. It eats negates. It just eats up boards going second. It's insane. And the fact that it's not once per turn is ridiculous. So I'm going to normal summon the Cyber Petite Angel. And I believe he's going to chain. Oh, he does let go. Yeah, so I'm going to search the Natasha right off the head here. So the Cyber Petite Angel gets me Natasha. And then I'm going to start linking cards away. Before I do that, though, I'm pretty sure I add something back. Oh, I'm going to start doing the Drytrons, yeah. So I start just relaying my Drytrons because all of them have a second effect. They're all going to get me somewhere. So I can just keep tributing each one of them. So I'm going to tribute, summon Zeta. I'm going to use Delta, tributing the Zeta. I'm going to summon that. I'm going to reveal. I'm going to cut my deck in half just so that's how we've been doing it. Just cut the deck in half before we draw. And then I get to draw one off of Delta. So Zeta searched me the field spell, or the ritual spell. Delta drew me a card. Alpha can get me a ritual monster. And then Gamma is going to summon 2 back. So I didn't Alpha Thubin yet. I was questioning on which ones I had left. So I am going to Gamma here because I do want to push for game. So I'm going to tribute the Zeta, summon Gamma, and then Gamma is going to bring out Alpha Thubin. So now I have a ridiculous amount of monsters on board. And I could definitely push through here because I have negates behind my Herald. So Meteonis Drytron is going to activate. I'm going to tribute and then summon my Natasha in attack mode. He's going to crack down my Natasha, which I think about negating, but I know there's definitely ways around it. I always go into Unicorn before I go into Access Code because I definitely want to make sure that I get the attack stat boost of 3,000. So I knew I was going to have extra fodder in my hand to pitch it away. So I definitely could summon Unicorn and get rid of that crackdown pretty easily. So I let that go through. And then we're going to start linking away here. So I'm going to link 3 into Nightmare Unicorn. And I'm going to activate Nightmare Unicorn's effect. I believe I discard the Cyber Emergency. I already had all 4 Drytrons in my grave, so there was no point. So he's going to change Lost Wind. He's going to chain Lost Wind. And I'm going to have to negate that with Ultimateness because that's the only way to get my Crackdown to go back to deck. So lost one's going to be negated. That's going to go to graveyard. Crackdown goes back to deck. I get my Natasha back. I know we do move cards across each other's mats. I just want to make sure that we all, I don't want to say that we all did sanitize before each game we played. We're all wearing our mask. We're making sure that we're all safe, happy, and healthy, in these times of Yu-Gi-Oh! During COVID. So I am going to summon Access Code Talker. Access Code is going to target the unicorn in my graveyard, gaining it 3,000 attack points, so it's going to go to 5,300. So 5,300, 2,000, and another 1,000 is going to be just over for game. So I'm going to be able to attack here for game, and then we're going to be moving on to game 2 because his last card is Manifestation, but I do have the negate for the Conquery. So that is going to put us through. Access Kotaker also is going to get rid of everything. We're going to go to game 2. So moving on to game 2. Zach is going to choose to go first. Altergeist is a trap deck after all, and I'd say 99% of trap decks want to go first. So he chooses to go first. I say, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But I actually open the nuts from my side deck cards. I definitely got everything I needed. But we are going to face some problems here. So he's making a joke like I said standby. I said as a standby main, and he said yeah, standby main. He goes battle as evenly matched. That was the old going to battle phase summon evenly. So he's going to Molaseek. Molaseek link away for Link Rebo, and Link Rebo is going to search a Conquery. So I can assume again that he opened Multi-Faker. I just make a quick comment about his Link review from the Advent calendar. I forgot that was printed in an Advent calendar. I think mine's from Dupo. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember exactly. He's going to search the Conquery, and then I'm safe to assume that he has Multi-Faker in hand. He sets 2 and passes, so I draw for turn. I draw into a Herald of Orange Light. During my standby phase, he's going to activate Spoofing. He's going to shuffle back Faker, and then add Faker back to hand. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was what the confusion was. He's shuffling Conquery. Yeah, so he shuffles Conquery for cost, and then it searches, then Resolution. He would activate Multi-Faker. Like I said, this is his first time playing the deck. He actually did very, very well with it. So, I give him a lot of credit. He's a very fast learner, one of the better players that I know. Also an amazing guy. I want to give a quick shout out to Zach. He is a nurse at one of our local hospitals, and he has been just helping people, saving lives during these insane times that we're living through as of January 2021. And, the past year that we've had, Zach would tell us the stories from, the hospital, and he's working late shifts, overnights. He doesn't have too much time to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So I just want to say thank you to Zach, and thank you to all the healthcare workers that have helped us get through these troubling times throughout 2020 and 2021. So Zach is going to try to activate Multi-Faker on Resolution. I am going to Herald of Orange Light that. I am going to activate Cyber Emergency. Cyber Emergency is going to start to get me to my Drytron engine. I'm going to search a Alpha Thubin, and then he drolls. And I said, I knew it. I knew he had it, and I didn't know if I wanted the bounce or the droll. In case he had it, it happens. We're fine though, because we have a pretty great plan. I know he's not going to OTK me. He actually fumbles his card here. Altergeist is very, very few and far in between from OTKing, so I wasn't too worried about it. So he's going to normal summon Marionetter, activate Marionetter's effect, which will set him, I believe he sets Altergeist Protocol. I said I knew I had it. Oh no, he sets Manifestation, my bad. I believe he already had Protocol. But he sets Manifestation off the Marionetter. Now he could have activated Marionetter's effect here to tribute itself to summon back Multi-Faker, and when Multi-Faker is summoned by the effect of an Altergeist monster, it will summon a monster from deck. He chose not to do this. I don't know if he didn't know it or he just didn't want to. It actually ended up being beneficial because I do have evenly matched and I'm going to get rid of the whole board. So if he did that, he would have just lost more monsters. Standby, he says he has nothing. I just really want to check, make sure that we go through the phases properly because I know what's coming. Main phase is good. And then he goes, battle phase as a joke. And then I say, yeah, battle phase. And I drop the evenly on him. He does have the judgment for the first evenly. I say that in parentheses, first evenly, because there comes a second. I opened up the second evenly, and I said, that's what you get for trolling me, is double evenly. And he's talking about how something similar happened to him not that long ago, I think earlier in the tournament. But he chains spoofing, gets rid of the Marionetter, and he's going to search, I believe Conquery is what he chooses to search. It might be Multi-Faker. I'm not 100% sure. I think he wants the Conquery just to protect him. I definitely would have chose Multi-Faker. I forget what trap he elects to leave. I believe it's the Manifestation. Yeah, he leaves the Manifestation. So Manifestation summoning back Multi-Faker will also trigger it. But I feel like you could have got a lot more mileage if he had searched Multi-Faker. I am not a Geist expert. I definitely did not play the deck long enough to really know what I'm doing. But he does Manifestation. Manifestation is going to give him Silcoitus. In turn, I'm sorry, you give him Multi-Faker, in turn giving him Silcoitus. So I actually said I would have went with Mulseek because I don't think the bounce was going to be insane. And the Mulseek, when that went to graveyard, is going to search another Marionetter. And it really just extends you farther. It gets you plays for next turn. I always try to think ahead when I'm playing decks, and I always want my friends to try to think ahead. He, like I was telling him right now, he couldn't predict that I had evenly matched. So I was explaining how he could have Marionettered to summon back the Multi-Faker. But in this situation with the Multi-Faker summoning now in main phase 2, I can't OTK him. And I don't think the one bounce is really going to matter, especially with the hand I have. If I have access to any heralds, it's a moot point. So I definitely would have went with Mulseek just to get the Marionetter for next turn. So I'm going to activate Alpha Thu, but I'm going to get rid of Ben 10, which is, the best 2-card combo in this deck. Ben 10 that I tribute is going to search another herald. I knew that was coming. It was kind of hard for him to predict that with only 3 cards in my hand. I'm going to activate Zeta, pitch the second Ben 10, and that is going to search me Meteonis, and then the other Ben 10 is going to search me out a copy of Eva. So now I have the Herald Eva in my hand, and I still have 2 searches off the Eva in my deck. I have 1 Herald left, and I have 1 Cyber Petite Angel. So I'm going to link those 2 away, and I'm going to go into a copy of Union Carrier. I'm going to start doing the standard plays. Union Carrier, he's actually going to chain the Silcoitus to the Union Carrier. So it does bounce for cost. I'm asking if it bounces for cost. I'm deciding if I want to or don't want to negate. So he's going to bounce for cost. He bounces the Marionetter. So that Multi-Faker will go to graveyard, and I am going to negate with Herald of Orange Light off the Eva. Eva's effect will get me 2 more. So I definitely will have 2 negates behind my ultimateness, and that puts him on 3 cards against 2 negates, which is still a pretty advantageous situation for me. I believe both the cards in his hand at this time. I knew one was a Manifestation and the other was a Conquery. So I did know both the cards in his hand at this time. So then I am going to activate Union Carrier. That is going to search me it is going to equip a copy of Dawn Knight, which we will not be seeing much more of this after May, even if Ben 10 survives the ban list coming up. Hopefully it does. I really love this deck, so let's pray. But I'm going to Meteonis. We're going to summon back the Ben 10. Dawn Knight is going to get your 3rd piece. I believe I go for Delta here. I don't remember exactly. It might have been Gamma. I think it was Gamma because I didn't have a ritual to reveal. So yeah, I'm thinking here. It definitely was Gamma now that I think about it. It's definitely the better play. So I do send Gamma. And Gamma is then in turn going to tribute to Ben 10 to summon itself out, and then summon a second Drytron. This will allow me to get my ritual spell back to hand, now that I have one that I can reduce its attack points by. Because if I did it on just the one that I summoned, if I had just summoned one, I wouldn't be able to activate the Meteonis to summon Herald, because it is 2,000 attack. And I always forget that it goes off of attack, not level, attack, not level, attack, not level. You have to be conscious about which one you are reducing its attack by. So I'm going to reduce the attack. I'm going to add that back to hand, activate Meteonis, summon the Herald, and I am going to pass. So now I end on Herald with Alpha Thuban and 2 negates in my hand, which he knows about. So he has 3 cards in his hand. He's going to, I believe, set 1 and then normal summon Silcoitus. So he sets Manifestation, and then he is going to normal summon Silcoitus, which is the last card that he drew. And he's going to poke over the Alpha Thuban. He is thinking here out exactly what he wants to do. Yeah, so he normal summons the Silcoitus. At least with Silcoitus on the field, activating the manifestation, he'll have the ability to have a bounce. So he's going to just kill the Alpha Thubin and then pass. I drew another evenly matched, which doesn't really do anything at this point, but I do have 2 negates. As long as I am able to negate the manifestation, I am definitely going to win here. So I know he has Conk in hand. I know he has manifestation set. I know he has Silcoitus in attack mode. So I'm just kind of, the gears are working through my head right here on what I want to do exactly. He's asking if I'm in standby or main. I said, yeah, I mean, if you want to activate in standby, you're more than welcome to. So he's going to manifestation and standby. And I am going to negate that with Herald. That was definitely the most optimal play for everything that he had, because I could definitely take the Herald. I'm sorry, I could definitely take the Silcoitus with one of my 3 Snatch Steel monsters. So I am going to negate with Herald, and thank God Herald does negate activations, so it was never activated, so he can't Silk bounce the manifestation because the manifestation hasn't been activated yet. Yeah, so that goes to Grave, and then I will normal summon the Cyber Petite Angel. This is going to search me my Ben 10, which will be my 3rd Ben 10. I already have a, what's her name, Natasha in Graveyard. I'm just explaining to him like it's game. It's gonna be the end of it. But that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see again.